Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Epic in the video today, and today we're going to be talking about why the Dallas Mavericks are the winners of the 2024 NBA trade deadline. The Dallas Mavericks received two big men in the trade deadline from two teams in the Eastern Conference who are terrible, and the Charlotte Hornets and the Washington Wizards. I know their fans are probably counting the days till the season end, but it wouldn't surprise me if maybe their players and their whole franchise are counting the days until their season is over. But the two moves that Dallas made were making trade with the Wizards with Daniel Gafford. Now we're gonna wait to go over Gafford in Washington because there was a move that Dallas made in order to make this deal with the Wizards and get their day started at the deadline. So they made a pick swap trade with the Thunder. They traded a 2028 first round pick swap to the they sent a 2024 first round pick swap, 2028 first round pick swap to the Thunder in return for a 2024 first round pick, which belongs to OKC. And then what they did after that was traded a 2024 first round pick that they received from OKC with Rashawn Holmes to receive Daniel Gafford. Then later in the day, we saw them trade Seth Curry, brothers Steph, and Grant Williams, who they were trying to move and would do anything to get rid of him, and a 2027 first round pick, slightly protected, for PJ Washington. So ultimately, they give up Seth Curry, Grant Williams, Rashawn Holmes, and two first-round picks for PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. And I'm gonna tell you guys why I think, I think out of every team, I wouldn't go as far to say they're the biggest winner of the NBA trade deadline. I think they are one of the biggest winners of the deadline. I think out of all, you look at all the teams in the Western Conference, they're the biggest winner in the Western Conference. I don't see a team in the Western Conference that did a better job than the Dallas Mavericks at the trade deadline. I think there are some teams that made some great moves over the deadline in the West. But I think what the Knicks did, it's really hard to beat that when you trade for OG Anunoby, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Alec Burks, and all you give up is Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, and also Emmanuel Quickly, and you give up no first-round picks and just 3 second-round picks. It's kind of hard to beat that. But what Dallas did here is they needed size. Derek Lively II has done a great job for Dallas this season, and I'm actually really interested with the Mavericks going up against OKC tomorrow, which is actually funny enough because these two teams just made a trade. Now, you're not going to see any players going up against their former teams because this was a trade involved in draft picks, but OKC did help Dallas make the trade with Washington. If I was Daniel Gafford, I would be thanking OKC right there because they're the reason why he's out of Washington. I'd hate to be on the Wizards. No, I'm just kidding. So that's kind of interesting that those two teams are playing tomorrow. But I'm interested to see if Lively will still start. He's been out of the lineup recently, so if he's not playing tomorrow, I think Gafford will probably start in his first game as a Maverick. But it wouldn't surprise me if PJ Washington takes over the starting role that Grant Williams had on this team. I expect him to start, but I wonder if Gafford will come off the bench. Do they put Lively on the bench? But the reason I like this trade is they're adding in size. They needed size. They needed better rebounding. Lively's done a great job, but I don't really see any other players on this team that are, giving them some good size and giving them some good scoring and rebounding besides Lively. I mean, Dwight Powell's solid, and so is Maxi Kleber, but they're nowhere near the level of Gafford or PJ Washington. And for them to finally bring in some size, I think it's great for them. I also wouldn't be surprised if once you see PJ Washington and Gafford with the Mavericks, maybe you see a Maxi Kleber buyout, but maybe I doubt it. We'll see. Because he was somebody I thought would for sure get traded over the deadline. But I think with PJ Washington and Gafford both being good offensive players. They're both good scorers. Both are averaging over 10 points per game. I believe Gafford's averaging 10 or 11. PJ Washington's averaging near 14 points per game with 7 rebounds per game. He hasn't even been starting this year. So PJ Washington's minutes will for sure go up with Dallas. So I think he will be doing a better job with Dallas. Sure, Luka and Kyrie, they're gonna have the ball a lot in their hands, but I think he'll be doing a better job with Dallas than he would be with Charlotte, because it's like, he was coming off the bench with Charlotte too. So I think that Washington will fit right in with the Mavericks. I'm excited. I'm not on the same end with Gafford. I think Gafford will be great for the Mavericks. We just don't know right now whether he's going to be coming off the bench or he's going to be starting when Derek Lively II is healthy. So, but right now I like what they have at size with their big men. Washington's more of stretch 4, but or more of a stretch 5, but he's more of a power forward, but he can stretch to the 5. But still is a good rebounder, averaging 7 rebounds per game, or maybe it's like 6.5. And he's a good scorer too, decent 3-point shooter, especially for his position. And Gafford is a solid player as well. And I think bringing these two guys in, they bring in 2 guys that are going to not only help with the defense, size, and rebounding, but they're also bringing in 2 guys who are big men and are better scorers than the current guys that they've had playing big men. They're the current guys that have been playing the power forward or center positions for them outside of Lively, like Dwight Powell or Maxi Kleber, who've not really been scorers on this Mavericks team. I think Gafford and PJ Washington fit better into this Mavericks team than Dwight Powell or Maxi Kleber does. So I'm excited to see what these 2 guys do for Dallas. And with them being the 8th seed currently, this helps them to make a run to potentially get into the playoffs with a couple months left in the season. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.